G'day, ZiggyD here with another short Path of Exile guide. In this video I want to talk about chroming difficult items. This is within the context of my elemental buzzsaw character I've been working on, which uses an Alpha's Howl. Alpha's Howl is the classic example of this, of trying to get difficult colors on an item that doesn't support it. So let's take this Alpha's Howl just here, and I'll remove the gems from it, and we'll talk about how this item determines what colors are going to roll. Now I have made a detailed guide on chroming of items and how these things are determined in the past, and I'll link that in the description below for you guys if you're more interested. But in short, the colors that roll in an item when you use a chromatic orb are based on the stat requirements of it. Now this has a pretty high dexterity requirement of 138. That means it's much more likely to roll green sockets than it is to roll red or blue sockets. Now something like a low-level pair of gloves that only has like a 30-something dex requirement only has a slight bias towards green sockets, and will have a much easier time of rolling reds and blues. So you'll get often like low-level magic finding uniques that can roll any color sockets, and can actually be frustrating if you're trying to roll something like 4 greens, even though it has dexterity, because you can still have like a strong tendency towards getting any of the other colors. So how do you determine the most efficient way of going about chroming an item like this? Like, you can just spam chromatics and hope for the best to try and get it, but that might not be the most efficient way, and you might end up spending a whole bunch of extra chromatics that you don't need to. Now, Forsaken Master's brought with it Vorici Master crafting, which he allows you to specify at least some of the sockets and what they will be. So for example, if we choose 2 red sockets, the first 2 sockets will be tagged as red on the Alpha's Howl. So this means we kind of get to get a bit of a, we get to kind of play with the maths a little bit. We get to lean the maths in our favor a little bit. Now, you can kind of work out and make a spreadsheet and make all this complicated math to try and figure out what's going to be the strongest way of doing this, but there is, thankfully, a very nice website that's going to allow us to work out the most efficient way of doing this. So let's switch on over and take a look at it. So this website here is the simple Vorici Chromatic calculator. It tells you whether you're going to be best off just chromaticing the item, or whether you're going to be best off using one of Vorici's recipes, and then which one of Vorici's recipes in like specific. Now, all you need to do is put in the number of sockets, the stat requirements of the item, and then the desired colors. So let's go ahead and work out what we want on our Alpha's Howl. Now on this Alpha's Howl, I'm going to be running Anger, Wrath, and Herald of Ice. Well, let's say Herald of Ice, I want to switch from Herald of Ice. I'm already running Herald of Ice. Let's say I want to run Anger, Wrath, and Purity of Lightning. So I'm going to try and go 2 red, 2 blues. Pretty difficult on a full green item. Let's see what's the most efficient way of doing that, and then we'll also test the most efficient way of doing the Herald of Ice. So 2 red, 2 blue on a dexterity item. What's going to be the best way of doing this? So we have 4 sockets for the Alpha's Howl. The dex requirement again is 138, so 138 dex just there. And we want 2 red, 2 blue. Pretty brutal. The best option is going to be Vorici 1 red, 1 blue, and that gives us an average cost of 863 chromatics. So I have at least learnt, like, we can see the difference here. If we went Vorici 2 red, 1 blue, we'd be looking at 1,000. If we just tried to chromatic it, we'd be looking at something like 1,700. Now, I can't really afford 860 chromatics, so I'm probably going to stick with my current Alpha's Howl alignment. Getting 1 green at least on there is a much more budget-friendly option. So let's take a look at the more budget-friendly option here of 2 red, 1 blue, 1 green. And even though Purity of Lightning would be a little bit nicer in the Alpha's Howl, we'll just stick with Herald of Ice for now. So 2 red, 1 blue, 1 green, same deal here. 2 red, 1 blue, 1 green, calculate. We can see that Vorici 1 red is actually the most efficient here, just by a small margin off of actually chromaticing the item. So we managed to save ourselves 5 chromes just here. So now just remember, this is the expected outcome, or the average cost. It can take you way more than this. It could take you 200, it could take you infinity, or it could take you 1 try. So the idea is that this is just giving you an idea of what is going to be your best chances, what day of the week to enter the lottery to have the best chance of winning, if that is such a thing. So we can see our success chance 4% over here, and it just highlights it to make it nice and easy. So we probably wouldn't have been scammed too much using just chromatics, but we can slightly lean it in our favor by using the Vorici craft. Now you can use this on any item, not just an Alpha's Howl. If you have a chest that you want to get some specific colors on, like it's an armor evasion chest, and you want to get like 2 blue, 1 red or something like that on there, and the rest green, then you can find out exactly what's going to be the best way of doing it. Really nice feature, and knowing of this feature is going to save you a lot of chromatics in the long run. So anyway, hope you guys found this helpful. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.